It is not a hard button. Hi there. My name is Diamond. I'm here with Allison, David, and Thomas. Ethan and Jocelyn are not joining us for this part of the game because they had to sleep, because sleep is important, I suspect, for growing chillins. This is our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game featuring the Lasers and Liches 2.5 test wave. We are calling it Starfall. For reasons that you have probably seen in a previous episode. La la. Okay. When last we left our protagonists, they were preparing to enter the desert and had completed a shopping trip. Now what, my dears?
Rest till sunset.
To where are you going to go to rest?
My instant fortress.
If you try to put it up in town, somebody will suddenly show up in town and say, please don't put this up in town. You'll get a pop bad.
If we were going to go out into the desert, that is right now. That is where I would suggest. But you're right. We should stay. Before we go out, we should stay somewhere, get a good night's rest.
Yeah, we could just go up that way a little ways. I just don't want us to bother them.
Is your fortress repeated use or a one-time thing?
What?
Is your fortress reusable or is it a one-time?
Yep, it's until someone breaks it down, which is hard. It has a good amount of HP. Yes.
So it's a one. It's a you establish it and now it's here.
Yep, and then it'll go back into the box.
Okay, that was my question. So we can take it with us, and keep using it.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the rest of this map to potentially try out, and there's Crocodile Tears Tavern, which looks like a tavern.
And while I'm eager to try out my new fortress, I would prefer a mattress tonight. So let's stay in town.
Okay. Well, the taverns typically have places to sleep. Are you all going there?
Where's the one that I turned in our feathers?
That is Crocodile Tears Tavern.
I'm headed there.
Okay.
Me too.
Really, I just keep moving these things for flavor. Because I downloaded them. So you can see them. The barkeep who you already met welcomes you back cheerily Tuesday. Have you all decided you're going to stay?
For now, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Call you if more of those damn goblins show up. Clearly Diamond's not doing it well, but he's clearly trying to be like, hey, we're buddies now, right? Uh-huh, yay. Okay. They have rooms.
I'm doing my flavor of that. Of like, yeah.
They have rooms and meals.
Person.
Unlike the bazaar where everything is bizarrely expensive, the rooms and meals here are standard, rooms and meals prices. It will be more expensive for you, Somosaur.
Discrimination.
I know all about sizeism.
You have to buy 2 airline seats.
Yep.
Fine.
But yeah, y'all can stay here, no problem. Any prep work before you just sleep and go out?
I set up my alarms like I always do.
Cool.
And they're purely designed to just make a shit ton of noise if anyone tries to sneak in.
All right. You all rest As far as I can tell, with no problems, unless you have problems resting, which are between you and your personal gods and not me. Mark the coinage off. And awake at before dusk. It's evening.
Oh, I give Thomas his battery charger and tell him it was 15 gold.
Ah, oh, good, and reimburse you. Much appreciated. Thanks.
You're awake. It's evening. You're in a bar, tavern. Y'all tell me what you do.
Well, we were resting early to leave, so let's leave.
Okay. You are not the only people getting ready to leave.
I eat.
We killed them immediately.
I would be outside waiting for the group. I'm still fasting, so I'll wait, while they're through dinner, and mostly like watching the sky, checking the weather.
Okay. Have any of you ever been to Zion?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, have I?
Hold on. Going.
My job takes me all over the place, so possibly.
Ah, there we go.
Right. Zion National Park, not Zion where the angels shall sound their trumpets.
Oh, I thought she was referencing a place in game.
Oh. I understand why that was confusing.
Yeah, that totally sounds like a place that would be in this universe.
That is fair.
It's literally a Matrix reference.
It is. Well, I'm going to put a video in the chat that's some high-def Zion. It's greener than this area of the desert is. This area of the desert is very much flatter, but it should give you a good images of what kind of desert y'all are looking at. Not so much in the way of tall trees, though. It's just that maps for D&D have one style of tree. One style of desert. But you can enjoy all of these. And yeah, pretty. It's gorgeous. It's tall. It's so many colors of red. David?
No, it just first you run an ad for Cyberpunk 2077. There's a split second before logic kicks in where your brain is just like, oh, this is what I'm meant to see.
Exciting. All right. So as it's getting to the evening, you all head out to the desert. Kazoo playing crab. And I'll save that later. Kazoo playing crab and snake in tow. Just assume they're there with you. Or maybe they will catch up. Whatever. Sorry, I'm opening. There we go. So where are you all headed?
I don't know.
So there were 3 places we need to go, right? Or were there more?
There were at least 3, and
Okay.
sounds like y'all picked up some side quests.
One of them's just hunting wherever, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll chart a course that takes us near the Wonari camp but heads toward the what is closer on that route, the uh, aquarium or the meteor?
Both of those are south, and they're in, as far as you can tell, a similar region.
Okay, I think we should free the critters first then.
So here's
Any objections?
I can't actually successfully do this without. Great, come on. Ah, did you look at the map that's in your thing
Yes.
that I gave you,
Oh,
Thomas?
I didn't. I didn't see it there. Oh, there it is. I have now.
All right. So that the eagle head is as far above the image, the blue on the right, as the blue on the right is from where you are right now. And both of these are several days north of where the desert becomes an ocean.
And that's where the aquarium is.
In that ocean.
Okay.
Well, not in it.
So in that case, which of these is the Wonari base?
The one on the right.
Okay.
There's text. If you scroll down, there's text. I wrote stuff.
I see. Blue to the east. So yeah, we'll basically chart a course towards the one on the left, but we would go through that northern valley route, so that I would have the opportunity to hop the mountain, hop the plateau over to the Wonari base.
Okay, so you were trying to head. It's not going to work how you think.
Okay,
Sorry.
where are we starting from?
The one on the spot on the left. That's where dry spit is.
Okay, so where's the meteorite?
Not on this map. Wouldn't fit at the
it's very
scale.
far to the south.
Yes. Also, because
I
where
thought
that
things were in a different line than that.
That's I see that, which is what I'm trying to. Where that Wonari base is also within a bunch of canyons. So just hopping to it is a little bit harder.
I mean, hop means fly, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. But what I mean is you can't just. You're not going to be able to go south to the water and then go back north to that, or you can, but you'll just have like extra 5 days of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's different than how I had it for the last couple of sessions.
I know, which is why I put a map in here.
Yeah. Well, then I have to leave the group. I mean, I'm not taking them there.
You could probably get reasonably close, but you'd have to do like an overnight where they stay separate.
Yeah, see, I also don't know, like, is it due south to the archipelago? Like, what southern, like, southeast, southwest? Because it's a whole different map that I have here.
All right, so the region that you're in, I'm going to try and do this with my hands so that everyone can get all of this. So here's the region that you're in right now, which is flatter desert. The region of the Wonari camp area is in canyony desert. More like, it goes uphill to canyony desert. North of canyony desert, it flattens back out somewhat, and that's where we suspect the Sphinx is. South of that, the canyony desert turns into a proper river canyon and keeps going south for a bit to the ocean.
Oh, the Sphinx is north?
Yes. It's been north on the map the whole time. The Eagle Head is north of the Wanari camp on the map that you have. That Free
Right.
has.
I just also thought the Winari camp was south of here, not east of here. Like, that's like due east.
It's like due east with a slightly south bent, but yeah.
Yeah, east southeast.
Yeah.
So I don't know, team. The entire map is not how I had it mapped. Where do we want to go first?
Yeah, I had thought one was on the way to the other.
Maybe from where we started, but I guess when we hit dry spit, that all changed. Like, it was all south from there, but I don't know. Well, the map as it is now, where do we need to go first? I mean, the Sphinx, there's no timer on the aquarium. There is a timer on the meteorite because other people are going to go for it. Same on the Sphinx. Y'all can't come to the Winari base, so that's got to be one I got to do alone. I mean, that's in the meta. Friendly would
Yeah.
not even talk about that.
I feel like having the meta conversation is going to help right now anyway. The aquarium and the meteorite landing are in the same general region. The Wanari camp and the Sphinx lair are they're within half a day of each other, but they're in the same general region. Going to one or the other should be interesting.
And how far is the meteorite?
Several days to the south. I think we figured out like 5-ish. Going along the river route is also going to be easier because you have the chance of potentially getting boats, or it's a river.
Yeah.
I don't see a river on this map.
Because
I don't
that
see
map
a map
doesn't.
at all.
He's got a map because his character had a map.
Okay. I thought my Roll20 wasn't working.
No.
So the
I
river.
haven't even uploaded the friggin' map that I'm talking about yet, but I literally have them. I have a lot of random pages open, and it's a little strange for me right now. Let me open that thing.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna need a lot more context, I guess, before I can make a decent choice.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
what river, for instance?
I mean, I haven't named it. It's a river. We'll call it river. We'll call it the
river.
The river. Where's the desert? There are the maps. So yeah, I have a map of the harbor, and I have a map of base.
A multi-pass river.
All right. So from the Wanari free zone that you have on your map, Thomas, you see how it starts getting squiggly just to the south there?
Yeah.
That squiggly to the south becomes the next map, which is looking for it. I know you're here. Trek to the ocean. Yep. Let's see if I can upload that so you all can see it. I have to find things and go to things, things. And I did have world maps, but I've sort of cut them into pieces based on where you're likely to have in encounters, because that seemed like the most useful. I didn't just take an overhead shot map, you know. Where are you? It's going to take me a second to get it to upload. new one.
I mean, from what it sounds like, I guess we have to go Sphinx, right?
You don't have to.
If I'm gonna hit the camp, we have to. If then.
You don't.
So, because that's the only one that's within multiple days' journey. Yeah. It's not on the map, but you said they're close.
They are close, but they're a they're parallel to each other in a perpendicular line away from you. If you're going this way, you're going to hit Wanari Base, and up here is Sphinx.
Yeah, but nothing else is remotely close, so friendly is going to push it toward the Sphinx.
Okay.
That's yeah. Nothing else is on the way.
So do you guys? So, because I don't have that part of the map drawn out on the computer, I just have it drawn out in I know where things are. Based on the map, like I know where it is on the map that you have. I just didn't edit it before I uploaded it. Do you guys still need to see where it turns into river?
I mean, yeah, it's going to make a difference on how we travel that direction. I don't know how far we're going to get though.
What do you mean?
Before it matters, like if we're going to travel very quickly and go very far, then we're probably going to need the second map. If you've got a whole bunch of shit along the way, then probably not. But only you know.
Okay. There's river. Fortunately, I haven't put any interesting townships on these yet, so this is just blank, and other stuff may get changed later on it, but it's just to give you an idea of what the landscape looks like. And this is like an overly large landscape screenshot. And then you all should have these in your journals just to make life easier. For me. Okay. Do you want me to change the map to Wanari Base to all players? Or not?
No, I mean just in case something goes wrong later, dramatic tension, etc.
Okay.
Freed would have it.
Yes, which is why you have it. Anyway, there are the other two. And, I mean, you all understand... So your characters are supposed to understand the region very generally. In the same way that I definitely know that San Francisco is south of here and how to get there. But if you told me to point out on a map, I might get the right region, you know. Where's Medford? That way? That away? Your understanding of this is based on what you need to know. Except, of course, for Freed and Friendly, who know exactly how to get to the Wanari base camp and back, because they've trekked that more than a few times. Either way, this says desert trekking, which shouldn't stop us from having encounters this evening, because really, it's more fun for me if you don't reach any of these tonight.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been waiting to figure out where you're gonna go to put like more effort into one, because I've been trying to build like 3 houses simultaneously. It's really hard.
I feel your pain.
So we head out east, right? That was the decision? Toward Sphinx?
Towards Sphinx.
Yes.
Sure.
So we'll head due east, to split the difference. It also looks like it's kind of the easier path.
It is. Takes a little bit longer, but it's not nearly as dangerous. Oy, all right. Who wants to be in charge of rolling exciting dice for me? Or I will.
Not
Oh.
it. I'm not making any of this my fault.
I mean, I'll roll them. I just want to know if you guys
The
want to
whole
be
thing's your fault.
complicit. I'll roll it then. Let's see what you're gonna run into. Hmm. Lists. None of those are the list I want. Oh. Penis. Don't you hate it when you play yourself like that?
Hmm?
Don't you just hate it? There it is. What did I roll? 63. What does that get you? This tab. I can't wait till I have 2 monitors. Oh my god. My life will be so much better. Oh, well, that's less exciting. Cool. So day 1, travel through the desert. Day 1 evening. You are most of the way through the desert. And as I assume that you all are traveling most of the evening and maybe taking some breaks and then stopping when the sun starts coming up. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're traveling through the desert, things seem eerily quiet. When those of you that have been out in the desert in the evening are used to this like empty silence feeling. Those of you that are not, I need you to, if you haven't spent several nights in the desert as your character in a row, you need to make a wisdom save.
I specifically have.
So that's just Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And the critters.
Sumosaur got 12.
All right. Sumosaur, you can feel on the edge of you like this general sense of like fear and concern, but your training as a sumo wrestler helps you just compartmentalize and push it down with a few donuts.
Just stuff your feelings.
I mean, it works. And as the sun starts coming up, there's that glow on the horizon. Oh god, it's flat. I can't. It's really hard for me to do Twilight when it's flat. This is killing me. There's a like edge of light very far away at the horizon that you know means the sun's gonna pop up over the edge of that soon. What do y'all do? Make camp? Like,
Yeah,
I'll
look
bust
for
out the
a
instant
nice camp
fortress.
spot. Okay.
I'll bust out the instant fortress.
are you looking for just a nice flat spot to put it or anything additional?
No, just a flat spot.
Okay, you can find a flat spot here. And as you all are going inside the fortress, you see that as the sun is coming up, it's followed right behind it with a much closer wall of dark.
That's not usual.
That doesn't seem usual, no. Thomas, you would get advantage on this, but everyone can make a nature check.
Ooh, I got a really high roll. And even with my -1, I got an 18.
Hey!
16.
13.
All of you are aware to varying degrees of how screwed up that's going to make your life, that is definitely a sandstorm.
How durable is your fortress?
tink, tink, tink. I think it's adamantine, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A fortress is wait. The thing that you have that I can't remember the first word for. Tiny fortress? Pocket
Instant.
fortress? Instant fortress. Like
Mhm.
potatoes. Your instant fortress now comes equipped with also instant mashed potatoes and ramen because I said so.
Yay.
Just water.
Just exactly.
All the plumbing produces pasta. No water, just pasta.
And those weird tomato soups that you pull off the bottom and it heats up in the can. It's an extra instant fortress now.
Oh, I will eat it.
It's the perfect one for you. The instant fortress is a great way to weather a sandstorm, but it is definitely going to be on you before it is night.
You mean day?
Yes, that is exactly. No, it is not going to be on you before it's all the way day. It will be on you before it is all the way night when you would need to travel again. I had that right.
I suppose my question is, with your fortress, do we give a shit?
It does take damage. I mean, it can take damage, but it's pretty high. It has pretty high hit points. So I should know if there is any damage. That if it does take any damage, I need to note it because it doesn't go away.
Okay.
But it probably can take more damage than, say, us standing on a dune.
Yeah. Yeah, like each wall has 100 hit points, and the roof has 100 hit points, and the door has 100 hit points.
Yeah.
It is a fortress.
That's more hit points than I have, it turns out.
Do you do any preparations before you do the sleepings?
And it also has immunity to damage from non-magical weapons, excluding siege weapons, and resistance to all other damage. And no, I'm going to eat. Then I'm going to sleep.
All right. In the several hours into the day, I'm gonna assume that it has like functionally like skylights or something, magical adamantium skylights, just because a black box just really freaks me out a little bit as a thing you'd choose to sleep in, but it's fine if you want it to be. You hear and or see that the sky is getting progressively darker. Obviously, it is not the sun going down. And you start hearing a like loud screechy wind. Roll survival, each of you, to sleep through this. I can't hear you, Thomas. And I think that you guys can get advantage on this because you're not having to be outside. It's just a noise.
I will
Well,
also
thank God
give
I rolled a
everyone
natural
guidance.
1. I need advantage on that. All right, I got 16 total.
Okay. Thomas?
Oh, yay, advantage. 16, 17 plus survival. 21.
Plenty.
14.
All right, you all are able to sleep through this. The Tuesday you wake up in the middle of the night and have to like have a minute to like really like make sure you know what those sounds are.
Mm-hmm.
And because you did that, roll your perception. Sorry, I couldn't remember the word.
Natural 20. So 24.
Woo, natural 20!
Have a seizure.
Not gonna cause anyone a seizure. Anyway. Um,
That's
you
usually what's said right before you give someone a seizure.
you hear what sounds like howling in the wind.
But, like, to my trained ears, it's not just howling wind, it's howling.
Yeah. Something is howling in the wind.
Alright. That's a problem for when we have to open the door.
Yes, it is. Oh, what the dice do to you.
I make a note, and I go back to bed.
Okay. Without further whatevers, you all awaken. You are all rested. You can do your whatever you need for the well-restedness.
Do a
And
little
there's
bit of meditation before we take off.
there's
ahead.
still a
Sorry.
sandstorm happening outside. It seems like it maybe isn't as bad as it was earlier, but it's really hard to tell.
Could our druid cast druidcraft and find out what the weather's going to be like for the rest of the 24 hours?
Totally. Seems great. Thanks. Yeah.
Great idea, Duchess. You're always thinking.
Druid does so, makes a dodecahedron, and each of the squares represents it from also has like a color around it for how irritating it will be to a snake. It seems that the sandstorm looks like it's going to last through the next day and then should clear.
Well then.
And then it just looks like awful sunny, awful, terrible sunny for a chunk. And somewhere in the end there's like a little bit of a rain. Oh wait, no, this is next day, not next month. I'm sorry. My bad. Anyway.
Well, I have no way of mitigating a sandstorm unless any of you do. Looks like we sit around and tell stories.
Everybody else roll perception.
I got a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was me at 22.
You both note how, like, within the sound of wind moving outside, you hear like howling and almost grunts, and the occasional what sounds like, and now that you're listening, you hear what sounds almost like splashes on the outside of the fortress.
Everyone else hear that?
The howling or the splashing?
Both. Did you
Nope.
hear something else?
No, I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
As an aficionado of howling, you know, cultural. Is this? Could I make a nature check or a history check, depending on what I'm like, guess looking for?
You could try nature. Also, I'd take Arcana.
Well, Arcana's got advantage, so that's the one I get. And Arcana also gets the +8. So 24.
That is the howling of something that doesn't have a throat box. There are no vocal cords associated with that howl.
Mm,
That's a made something.
well, what do we think? I mean, we should at least check what's impacting the fortress, make sure it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So who's drawing the short straw? Asks. Let's have the snake be like, I'll go look. Somebody stop her.
She's legitimately the most qualified.
That's fair. Yeah.
As the druid.
Mhm.
I don't have her character sheet with me, so I'm gonna roll with it. She makes a wind bubble and snakes her tiny form outside when who's opening the door for her? She doesn't really have phalanges. Okay.
So there's a ladder up to a trapdoor that leads out to the roof.
Okay. Are you guys gonna go out look that way? I only heard there's a ladder up to the trapdoor that leads to the roof. The first part you cut out for me.
I will
Yeah,
cast.
to the roof. That was all. If she wanted to exit through the roof, there's also one on a ground level door.
I will hit her with a warding bond on the way out.
Okay. The roof makes sense, and she will be convinced and do that. Who's gonna open the roof hatch for her because she does not have phalanges?
I will do that.
Okay.
The ladder strains under me, but it holds.
It does, and when you open it, you are gonna need to make a survival check. Where is she?
4.
So you're gonna take all of 1 point of damage from sand to the face. Just caught in a bad wind there. And she slithers out, and you can't hear her, and then she slithers back in after what seems like you know where it's that moment in the zombie movie where you're just like, did they make it? Are they dead? Are they coming back a zombie? And then she comes back in. I assume you close the door. And she expresses that she's seen several. I don't have her character sheet. There are several small, dusty creatures with angry arms and wings that are throwing themselves against the side of the building but don't seem to be making any dents, and a large howling thing that started coming closer and she ran away. She couldn't tell what it was. It looked like it was wrapped in sand.
Sounds like mephits for the small ones. I don't know about maybe an elemental. Could be lots of things.
Yeah.
But she points out they don't seem to be harming the building, and she doesn't want to go back out there because it's very uncomfortable to have that much sand under her scales.
Well, I'm okay waiting. See what happens as the howler gets closer.
There's
Yep.
a sad kazoo in the corner. All right, so you all pass the day or night mostly like this. Is there any other character interaction that you all want to have while you're, stuck in a sandstorm.
Feel free to help yourself to some ramen, tomato soup,
Instant mashed potatoes.
mashed potatoes.
No running
Instant.
water, but there's a potato fountain in every room.
The dream.
The bathtub is mashed potatoes, but the shower is French fries.
So you have to have a mashed potato fountain right next to the gravy fountain, and then go.
And you eat both in the noodle bathtub. Ramen bathtub. Anyway.
That is dedication to the craft. That's
If you get in a bathtub with ramen, or is it a bathtub full of ramen, or are you part of ramen soup?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
clearly.
I'll be ramen soup if you I'm okay with it being. I'll be ramen soup if you fill my bathtub with noodles. Don't fill my bathtub with noodles. I imagine that would be hell on the plumbing.
Yeah.
I ruined ramen for myself at the age of 19.
I'm sorry.
I had the brilliant idea the kind of idea you have when you're 19 of, I'll just buy a case of ramen and that'll save me money for food for the month.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did frozen burritos right around then. I'm good.
I've been
All
there.
right.
Ramen was cheaper.
It's true. I am always good at spoiling myself. Anyway, so you hear throughout this time, you hear the howling. It comes closer, it goes away. Occasionally there's pounding on the door, and there continues to be that splashing noise. But they begin fading. And about halfway into the evening, they are completely gone. You haven't heard them in at least an hour.
When does the sandstorm stop? Or does it?
Sorry, with that, that is also the level of sandstorm going away. My bad for not explaining that well. As far as you can tell, it is no longer sandstorm outside.
Cool.
It's a trick.
All right, I'll send Rook out first.
Rook tells you clear.
All right, looks clear. Break camp. Head out.
In your mind, you just hear everything's back.
I will.
Is there any damage?
Friendly would during that time have tried to get everybody like around for story time and get some bonding.
You now all know one secret about each other.
No, you don't.
It can be a boring secret, like how much you hate ramen. Each know one boring secret about each other. There we go.
Right. Maybe not a secret, but a new thing.
No,
You're closer as a team. So, it's a beautiful, clear night, nice and crisp, cold, the way deserts do at night. And the fortress has taken around 30 hit points total, none of it on the roof. Not a lot, just
Wasn't it
Sans.
like immune to whole most of damage? Is that what I heard was immune or just resistant? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
let's
might be wrong.
clarify. I thought it was resistant to non-magical damage. Allison?
thought it was immune to non-magical and then resistant to everything else. Allison, do you have it?
Immunity to damage from non-magical weapons
Ah,
and resistance to all other damage.
so it's taken no damage.
Sweet.
My bad. Yeah, and
I
it's
polished
clearly
a little.
The landscape clearly looks different than it did before in the way that a sandstorm like sort of erases thing. And you are gonna need to make a nature or survivor roll to make sure that you're aiming the right direction. It shouldn't be hard because stars. You've done this before. You also have Freed will help, so you have assistance. Roll a 20. I want to play with this thing. God.
So who needs to roll that? Me?
No, Friendly, who's the only one who sort of knows where you all are going right now.
Well, I'd have shown them the map I illusory scripted that now does not have the camp on it. But I'm also going to use the gift of knowledge and bless myself with survival before I make this roll, which is good because even with advantage, that wasn't great. 17.
Okay, you're able to
No, 15.
after around 20 minutes, you're sure you've got the right direction. Doesn't
Okay.
take you long to go like, this is the way we were going. This is where we need to continue going.
Right. Remember which way the door was pointed. So from there we can. That's why you always put the door to the east. Not because any hoojum, just because then you remember where the door.
I just figured it's because the sun rises from that way, but that's me. Gets you up earlier.
Who wants that? So
Just
yeah.
go be hungover in the lake. So much nicer. Anyway. All right. You all continue on your evening journey. And you start making it, oh, I need a... We'll take turns. And I would... Let's see what happens now. I was having a whole little debate with myself. Sorry for that. Of course you rolled friggin' sandstorm. You absolute weirdos. And by you, I mean me doing this. Nee. That. Everything's on a different page, and it's bananas. And I like bananas. I really don't.
BANANAS.
One of you, everybody roll perception.
Roll what, sorry?
Perception.
Oh. 17.
Dirty 20. Right. Be right back.
17.
He hears it, so I guess I gotta wait for him. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Look, if it can be just like that, and then I can wiggle it, and they go different. Okay. This is making my Amazon shopping cart be crazy right now. Like, oh, you like spinny light up toys? Control me.
Shoppers who bought this item also bought ecstasy.
Bad Halloween costumes. I have my Halloween costume. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything about it, but all right. So
Sure.
Friendly, you hear a meowing to your. You guys are heading directly east to the north. South. No, northwest. Thank you. Come on, brain. You hear meowing from the northwest.
I mean, are we talking about like a little meow from the bushes, or like a yowl from across, echoing across
a
the
meow.
desert? Okay.
Meow.
Hmm.
I will cast. Nope, don't have that one. Rats. How do I not have locate creature?
While he's trying to figure out what he's doing about it, you two, as your Wanari guide stops and listens, you all both also hear a meowing.
Right. I'll point it out.
Kill it, kill it.
Meow.
Does it sound like a regular cat?
Yes.
What direction?
Northwest. You are currently facing east.
Does anyone here speak to animals?
I never remember what spells this character has.
I'll take one of my meat-filled buns and like tear it in half and like toss it that direction.
Over a dune comes a cat that is also a mummy, and it is sniffing at your meaty treat.
Oh God, what have we done?
So it's a sphinx.
No, it's a cat.
It's
Like-
a mummified undead cat.
He's a baby sphinx.
It's a tiny little mummified undead cat. It starts doing that like the cats do when they're eating something, when they're trying to actually chew it. Yeah. And purring simultaneously while it eats your treat.
I think I made a friend.
Does it have a collar?
It does not.
If found, please call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Call
no,
it-
absolutely.
Microchipped.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Call Imhotep at eyeball snake triangle.
Oh shit! Now I'm cursed.
Mhm.
Anyone doing anything before the cat finishes eating?
I'll toss it the rest of the one that I tore in half,
I will.
and I will eat another one in consolation of having to give one away.
I'll prepare my holy symbol, but and try to go wide.
It very is focused on eating these.
Yeah, Thomas, Tuesday is giving you a look that even without seeing my eyes, you can read as, you're a cleric, right?
Indeed, I am.
Once it finishes eating, it starts walking directly towards you, looking like a cat.
Like towards me specifically, or just us?
It seems towards all of you, but it seems like it's looking directly at you as far as you can tell, although it doesn't have eyes. And it's making that cute like meow sound that's like, you're my buddy now, right?
I guess I will sit down and see what happens.
Ready in action.
Okay.
I asked the group, how much of a shit do we give about this thing?
Hey, you
Less
all
than-
have pets.
I don't have a pet.
It climbs onto your lap and does that head nuzzle on your belly.
Climb a kitten trying to climb into Sumosaurus's lap has got to be like Everest.
Well, like it just jumps. It's like that leap because the cat. Nothing about its body language looks like it's gonna eat you. At those of you that are familiar with cat body language.
Mm-hmm.
So it
I can talk to this thing, but it's wasting a spell of the day.
Mm,
What do people want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna name him Skinny.
Oh God, we named it.
It's gonna be so much sadder now when it dies. Well, dies again. Ceases being in its state. Whatever.
This mummified cat purrs like a chainsaw. Like it's got one of those really heavy, almost kitten purrs,
Yeah.
where it's purr, 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 purr.
Isn't
Anyway.
it cute?
Anyway,
It's like
I
an
mean,
N64 controller.
it is a little cute.
And speaking of cats, there's a door closed. Hold on.
Do we want to talk to this and make sure that its mummy owner isn't coming for us? Do we want
That is a valid point, Sumasaur. If you'd like to keep it, we have to make sure that it doesn't already have a person attached to it, right? You've fed it, now it's sort of your responsibility.
Tuesday pulls out her 80s cyberpunk BlackBerry device, flips through some things, mutters some words, focuses, mutters them again with a gesture, and then turns to the cat and asks it what its name is.
I don't know.
Do you have an owner?
Or I'd like it gives you a Jellicle cat name, and I just can't come up with one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do you have an owner?
No.
Where did you come from?
It instead of like answering with words, it just like pointedly looks the direction it came from.
How far?
I don't know.
As long as it's not going to hurt anyone or cause any disease, I don't object to its presence.
Did you come out of a tomb? Or
Out of the sand.
just this, and I like pick up a handful and like pour it out. Just the sand. Were you alone?
Before or after? No, it's not going to remember before, Diamond. Okay. Yep.
So you climbed out of the sand by yourself, started walking, and then found us.
Some of it blew off. It made it easy to come out.
Did you see anything around you when you climbed out? Like objects?
Sand? I'm very thirsty.
I give it some. I pull out a collapsible cup and pour some water.
So it busies itself lapping the water, and then sitting on Sumosaur, says to you, "Thank you." Lays down on Sumosaur's lap with the like super warm purring, and crumbles into dust.
You owe me
No, Skinny.
You owe me a stealth mod.
I didn't do
What
it.
did you do?
It said it was thirsty. I didn't know. This is my first mummy cat. What do you want from me?
We've said it sold the rest. You've done a good thing, Sumasaur. Its last moments, it had a friend.
Is mummy dust a thing that you all need? So you got some.
Just scrape it off of Simisaur's leg.
Yeah, turn it into tea, snort it, be practically Victorian.
Oh God. I'm
guys
sure
are-
this is some spell component for somebody, but Sumo Sword's not.
Absolutely.
It tastes like ash, dander, and dry mold.
This is like selling the dog in Futurama. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. Friendly will console you as we continue moving. Like, that's rough, buddy.
Maybe
And-
I need a cat.
I'm gonna collect some of the dust, by the way. You
Why
never.
not? Right? Why not? It's an RPG. You might have a gimme quest. So you all start most of the way through this evening. You start reaching the rough terrain that is the canyony area. You can stop here, or you can continue further into the canyons, but you know, Friendly, that you may have a harder place finding a place to put up an adamantine fortress in the bit of time that you have left. So it is your call on what you all if want to continue into the rougher terrain. You will need to go in there. Well, at this point, I'm just gonna give you how I understand the map. You can either move north around the rougher terrain to get to the Sphinx area, which will take longer, or you can go like sort of direct line into and up to get to the Sphinx area, which will you have a difference in the sort of creatures you might run into, the sandier desert versus the Zionier desert. You're more likely to find fresh water and additional humanoids in the canyony area. Actually, so going to the Sphinx, either of those routes is going to take about the same amount of time. If you were going to Inari base, then it would be a different series of things. But to the Sphinx, either of those is going to take about the same amount of time. Another day and a half or so.
The due east sounds safer, and also is the apogee toward or perigee maybe to the camp.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys going to end early today and stay in the desert where you can definitely put an adamantine fortress? Or trust in your survival checks to find somewhere that'll be flat enough to put it inside the more canyony area?
I do not trust my survival check.
When in the wild, the closer to a guarantee you have, the better. I would say we do it now.
I agree.
All right.
Unless our druid someone has mold earth that could make us a 15-foot flat spot, and I don't know that we do.
I have no idea if she has mold earth or not. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
cantrip. It's a limited selection.
I know. It's really I don't have her. Whatever. It's okay.
Right. Well, if it
All
was
right.
a spell, she'd definitely have access to it. But it's a cantrip, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you all set up camp early in the evening. You've got a little bit of time to just couple hours to whatever. Thomas, I
And-
will give you the book name whenever I can.
Okay. And is it this night or the next night that will be closest to the Winari?
The next, you
Okay.
will be, if you are heading, so you're heading to the Sphinx by way of the Winari, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow, mid-travel.
Okay.
You'll be going the canyon route because that'll be the best way for you to get there.
Yeah, Freed and I can both fly, so
Yeah.
we'll just both take a little side trip, and I think tonight is when I'll let folks know. Tomorrow, Freed and I will have to divert for a portion of the day.
Oh,
We're near the reason we came in the first place, but it's only for he and I.
All
No
right.
offense.
okay. Do you need
But-
assistance at all?
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. He and I have traveled through the desert just fine. We're not spoiling for any fights. Everything is friendly on the other side.
I thought you were on this. I thought you were on this side.
Ah.
The animal companions are, they're not animal companions, but Empress is going to try to insist that she can come with you because she can also fly and she needs to speak to the Winari.
So you did. I'll bring your message.
She probably requires convincing, but will eventually be convinced of this.
Okay.
The crab agrees. Radmir agrees this is a good idea and begins playing cheerful kazoo tunes. Cheerful kazoo tunes.
So, and I'll show them the map I have. Again, with the illusion over, that wipes out the camp's spot, and just like point out the place on the map where the Sphinx is, and just draw in on a dotted line, just like the route to take. That's where we'll look for you when we rejoin.
It makes sense. It should be fairly easy to follow. I'm not too, like, whether or not you get lost is not based on whether or not you have a map. It's based on your dice plus the map. The map just makes it easier to not get lost. All right. You all do anything else for whilst you set up camp? Evening goodness. All right.
I eat
Well, then-
ramen.
Excellent.
Carbo load.
Got to use those. Just got to maintain that fighting weight, man.
All right, do you know how much weight I'm losing just like walking out here?
All right. Well, and another daytime where you sleep passes, this time uneventfully. Hooray. And that is where we're going to cut. You all ran into it's beautiful how you all turned combat encounters into non-combat encounters. I'm very proud of you. But I'll get you eventually. No worries.
Wait, the mummy kitten was a combat encounter?
It could have been.
Mummies are bad. Mummy rot sucks.
It could have been, but it wasn't. Because you all
Luckily,
are good.
gentle giant.
Yep. Luckily,
Wait.
gentle giant.
And the cleric in the party is evil and has no problem with undead. Right? That's usually what happens in a party. It's like, it's an undead, and the cleric's like, by the holy light.
Yeah.
Friendly's like, as long as it can behave itself, litter box is over there. I'm not cleaning up after it.
All right. So, those of you watching at home, if you've been enjoying these non-combat combat adventures, give us a like. If you want to know what that combat adventure was supposed to look like, what had been planned for that, let me know in the comments. I will happily share that information with you, just not with them, because who knows, might use it again. Either way, I'm Diamond. This is David, Allison, and Thomas. Our other players are Jocelyn and Ethan, and we will be back just a click away for you next week for me to play some more Starfall, our Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Y'all have a good game.